Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Linda Johnston, and I have the privilege to serve as Vice President and Principal at the University of Toronto Scarborough. On behalf of students, faculty, librarians, and staff, I welcome and thank you all for coming together to celebrate this tremendous occasion. As we gather here, I am honoured to reconfirm our commitment to place and to acknowledge the Indigenous peoples of our region on whose lands the University of Toronto operates across its 3 campuses and other facilities. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. It is my honour to now invite President Merrick Gertler to the podium to provide some remarks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. On behalf of my co-host, who you're going to hear from a little later on, Dr. Wes Hall, Chancellor of the University of Toronto, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I want to extend warmest greetings to our guests of honor, Myron and Berna Garron, who are joining us online, as well as their family. Also very pleased to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Rose Patton, Chancellor Emerita of U of T, Professor Wisdom Teti, immediate past principal of U of T Scarborough and former vice president of U of T, and the representatives of our partner institutions in the Toronto Academic Health Science Network, including Melanie Cohn, President and Chief Executive Officer of Michael Garron Hospital. And let me also give a shout out and a warm welcome to Sam Ibrahim, whose amazing generosity made possible this spectacular building that we are meeting in this morning. Welcome all. So for those of you keeping track, in 2021, U of T announced the creation of the Scarborough Academy of Medicine and Integrated Health. Spurred by a major province-wide investment in healthcare by the Government of Ontario, SAMIH, as we've come to call it, is designed to address a critical shortage in Scarborough and the Eastern Toronto region. Its mission is to educate healthcare professionals from the region, in the region, and for the region. Its goal is to improve access to care for the people who live here, and it will produce a new generation of physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and physiotherapists who reflect the communities they serve. SAMIH is an extremely impressive collaborative effort. It brings together world-leading expertise at U of T, from the Temerty Faculty of Medicine, the Lawrence Bloomberg Faculty of Nursing, the Leslie Dan Faculty of Pharmacy, and U of T Scarborough. It will also strengthen the ties between U of T and several of its partners in the Toronto Academic Health Science Network. In 2022, we joined in announcing a landmark gift from Orlando Corporation to help realize this vision. And last November, we broke ground on the brilliant new building that will serve as the home base for SAMIH and a gateway between U of T Scarborough and its neighboring communities. Well, today, I'm delighted to announce another historic step forward. Myron and Berna Garron are already well known as leading champions of healthcare in the Toronto region and beyond. Their philanthropy was recognized in the naming of Michael Garron Hospital, a place with a special connection to the family in memory of their son. Their generosity has also lifted several other U of T affiliated hospitals, including Sick Kids, CAMH, and St. Joseph's, now part of Unity Health. And now, Myron and Berna Garron have made an extraordinary benefaction towards the realization of our vision for the Scarborough Academy of Medicine and Integrated Health. They are providing $25 million to support SAMIH. I knew you weren't going to let me finish that sentence. That's okay. $25 million to support SAMIH in its mission to educate future generations of healthcare professionals for the Eastern Toronto region. And in appreciation of their generosity, U of T is honored to name the building in which SAMIH will be housed, the Myron and Berna Garron Health Sciences Complex. So Myron and Berna, on behalf of the University of Toronto, thank you. Thank you for your leadership in the advancement of this crucial initiative. A substantial part of Myron and Berna's gift will support the new building now under construction, and you can see the site just out the window here. The facility will feature technology-enhanced classrooms, state-of-the-art labs, and 3 clinics, including a branch of U of T's Discovery Pharmacy. Myron and Berna's gift will also strengthen our collaborations with partner institutions in the region where learners will undertake clinical rotations. These partners include Scarborough Health Network, Myron Garron Hospital, Lakeridge Health, and Ontario Shores Centre for Mental Health Sciences. Beyond all this, the Myron and Berna Garron Health Sciences Complex will also be a testament to the transformative power of philanthropy. It will advance U of T's commitments to city building, to inclusive excellence in our academic mission, and to global leadership in health and healthcare in particular. It will help prepare the next generations of healthcare professionals who will reflect the very communities they serve. Ultimately, it will improve the health and well-being of countless individuals long into the future. Myron and Berna, we are profoundly grateful for your generosity in helping to make all of this possible. Thank you once again. Now, as I mentioned, none of this would be possible without our partners in the Government of Ontario. We're delighted to be joined today by the Honourable Raymond Cho, Minister for Seniors and Accessibility, Member of Provincial Parliament for Scarborough North, and three-time graduate of the University of Toronto. Yes. Now, Minister Cho will speak in a few minutes, but for now, let me express our profound gratitude to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, and all the key ministers and MPPs who have supported this project. The government's game-changing investment in education to strengthen the healthcare system across Ontario will serve our communities for generations to come, in particular here in Scarborough and the Eastern GTA. So on behalf of the University of Toronto and our partners, thank you for your leadership in bringing us to this day. Well, before we hear from Minister Cho, I'm honored to introduce Doug Farley and Stephen Bowman, who are here to speak on behalf of Myron and Berna Garron. Doug and Stephen, the podium is yours.
Great. Mark, thank you for those wonderful remarks. And mine is going to be a little bit of a repetition on there. You've done such wonderful homework that it covers the waterfront. So my name is Doug Farley, and I'm really honored to be here on behalf of the Garron family. I've appreciated the Garrons as clients for more than 40 years. However, the public has really not known them as outstanding philanthropists for the last 24 years. Commencing in around 2000 until 2010, they directed most of their charitable gifts to a wide variety of GTA hospitals, and while very generous, did not create a high public profile. But in the decade that followed, the Garrons made many impactful gifts, with one notable one to sick kids for $50 million that established the Garron Pediatric Cancer Centre. It was the largest donation ever received by a Canadian pediatric hospital and set up challenging circumstances for future donations. When the Garrons made a similar transformative gift to Toronto East General Hospital, where their son Michael was born, it was also the largest gift ever received by a community care hospital in Canada. 2 weeks ago, they announced a multi-million-dollar visionary donation for adolescent health care at IWK, the largest gift in the history of that hospital. And today, the Garrons are obviously announcing a very impressive gift for the medical campus facility here. The Garrons are extraordinarily humble people who have and will continue to have extraordinary bearing on the face of healthcare in the GTA and beyond. And to my colleague, Stephen.
Thank you, Doug. Well, good morning, and my history with the Garrons is about 27 years or so, so not quite as long as Doug, but it's a wonderful pleasure to be here today and an honor for both Doug and me to be here to speak on behalf of Myron and Berna. They're very sorry they couldn't be here. Doug has described their philanthropic journey, which has covered the spectrum from precision medicine and targeted research to major transformational projects that have had and will have major impacts across communities and indeed across provinces. The Scarborough Academy of Medicine and Integrated Health will have that kind of major system-wide impact, and they're honored to join Orlando Corporation in helping to make it happen. I know they also hope that the generosity of Orlando Corporation and their own gift will inspire other far-sighted donors to come on board as partners in this journey. Now, a little on the personal side. Myron and Berna were born outside Ontario, Myron in Nova Scotia and Berna in the Caribbean. Neither attended U of T, and neither of them attended any university. But like many others, they met in Toronto and settled in the eastern side of the GTA, living in East York and Scarborough, and currently live in Unionville. Their son, Michael, who Doug said was born at Toronto East General, as it then was called, was diagnosed with cancer as a young boy. And tragically, 1970s medicine could prolong his life, but could not save it. Together, these threads have motivated a deep desire to give back, a desire to remember and honor their son, a wish to make healthcare more effective and more accessible across the communities that have been an important part of their lives. On behalf of Myron and Berna, thank you for the opportunity to be part of this exciting initiative that will open a new chapter in the life of U of T Scarborough and the people, and in the lives of the people in the Eastern GTA, and will dramatically enhance healthcare in the Eastern GTA and elevate all of the allied hospitals and other institutions in the process. Their story is one of determination to overcome adversity and to respond to a profound loss with positive action that help others. One might say it's about defying gravity. On behalf of Myron and Berna, thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. What a special day. What an exciting day it is for Scarborough. Also, I'm so glad my colleague, hardworking MPP Alice Babikin, I saw him today. He's here. Thank you for being here, Alice. Today, we gather here to celebrate something truly remarkable. The visionary generosity of two exceptional philanthropists, Myron and Berna Garron. Their incredible $25 million donation to the University of Toronto is more than just a gift. It is a testament to their deep commitment to improve our health care. This donation will go toward the future home of the Scarborough Academy, Medicine and Integrated Health, SAMIH, and will enhance teaching and research linkage with the Michael Garron Hospital. Our government is committed to improving local health care and building a strong healthcare workforce by expanding medical education. We've embarked on the largest expansion of our medical school system in more than a decade across the province. We work closely with the hospitals, professional associations, universities, colleges to bolster the pipeline of healthcare talent so that Ontarians will get the quality care they need closer to home. Our government is truly thankful. The quality care they need closer to home, our government is truly thankful for this generous donation going to SAMIH in support of our vision to build this first ever medical school in Scarborough and for Scarborough. We keep building future talent in healthcare by bringing more healthcare workers into the field. In our shared vision to improve local healthcare, a stronger healthcare workforce equals stronger healthcare. On behalf of Premier Doug Ford, Minister of Health Sylvia Jones, Minister of College University Nolan Quinn, and the people of Scarborough and Ontario. Myron and Berna, our sincere thanks for your incredible gift. Together, we are building a brighter, healthier future for Scarborough and Ontario. We are deeply grateful. Thank you.
Thank you to Doug Farley, Stephen Bowman, and Honourable Raymond Cho. The Scarborough Academy of Medicine and Integrated Health will train physicians, nurse practitioners, and other care professionals in the community and advance the health needs of what is a dynamic region. The Garron family's generous support of SAMIH, or SAMI, will empower the development of collaborative health professional education programs. It will set the foundation for the Eastern GTA to be equipped to take on incoming health professional learners successfully, a critical element to the positive impact of the SAMIH and Michael Garron Hospital partnership. As the former Dean of the Lawrence Bloomberg Faculty of Nursing, I'm absolutely thrilled that SAMIH will bring U of T's renowned nurse practitioner program to the Eastern GTA, extending the impact of U of T's health education programs and strengthening SAMIH as a key hub for health education. I'd like to share a quick story about Narusha Jebaneeson. After graduating from UTSC with an Honours Bachelor of Science, Narusha completed an impressive 3 nursing-related degrees from Bloomberg Nursing. She's set to graduate this November from the Postmasters Nurse Practitioner program at Bloomberg Nursing and is currently working as a nurse practitioner at the Scarborough Centre for Healthy Communities. Narusha has expressed gratitude for the opportunity to work as a healthcare provider in the community where her educational journey began, here in Scarborough. As a nurse practitioner on the Scarborough Palliative Care Community Team, she feels a profound connection to her community in which she received invaluable education, training, and mentorship. She chose to pursue a career in the nursing profession as her grandmother received nursing care at home, and it was important for her to choose a career where she could have a positive impact on her community and the ability to change people's lives. Narusha is but one example of the leadership and commitment shown by our nurses and other healthcare providers to grow and expand access to equitable, timely, and efficient healthcare in Scarborough. The Master of Nursing Nurse Practitioner program prepares graduate educated nurses to provide personalised, high-quality healthcare to patients across the lifespan. With advanced knowledge of client care and health management, NPs play a significant role in disease prevention and health promotion. As part of SAMIH's interprofessional learning environment, nurse practitioner graduates will help address a historic lack of adequate care coverage in the community, providing immediate and accessible care to those who need it most. This September, we celebrated another exciting milestone for SAMIH as we launched our newly revamped Health Sciences undergraduate program at U of T Scarborough. We welcomed over 740 first-year undergraduate students into the Health Sciences stream. The tremendous response to the program further solidifies our commitment to healthcare education and training of future professionals in the region. We look forward to working together with all partners to advance the SAMIH vision and to deliver on our shared values and our commitment to building inclusive, sustainable and resilient communities. The generous gift from Myron and Berna Garron continues to reinforce the family's commitment to healthcare research excellence, and it will propel the advancement of healthcare education and care in general in our region. It is my honour to now invite Dr. Caroline Chan, inaugural Academy Director of the Scarborough Academy of Medicine, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Johnston. I'm so proud to be here today to say a few words about the new Scarborough Academy of Medicine as its inaugural director. First, I want to my sincere thanks to the Garron family on behalf of U of T's Tamarchi Faculty of Medicine. This extraordinary new building, made possible by the generosity of donors such as the Garron family, will be an inclusive hub for education and strengthen our connections among healthcare providers in this historically underserved region. In collaboration with our hospital partners, like Scarborough Health Network and Michael Garron Hospital, I truly believe that these educational efforts will prove to be transformative for the community. With new Scarborough-based programs for medical students, nurse practitioners, physical therapists, and physician assistants, we will truly be preparing the next generation of compassionate health professionals. We know from experience at Tamarchi Medicine's Mississauga Academy of Medicine at our UTM campus that when we recruit from the community and train in the community, healthcare professionals are significantly more likely to stay and build a career in that community. During their training, the groundwork is being laid out for them to choose to practice in that same community. I've seen it within my own profession, which is emergency medicine. We consistently have graduates from the Scarborough Health Network residency program return as staff members. And I myself am just one of the many living examples of this in action. The deep roots in Scarborough were first planted by my family. My father is a family physician with a practice in Scarborough for 45 years and proud fellow U of T alumnus. I fondly remember my childhood when I would join him on Take Your Daughters and Sons to Work Day. It was through him, that I first was introduced to medicine and the central role healthcare plays in shaping the well-being of patients and their broader communities. Before studying medicine, I completed both an undergraduate and master's degree in industrial engineering at U of T and worked at Scarborough General Hospital, as well as Birchmount Hospital, investigating how to improve the process flow in the emergency department. I then decided to go back to school for medicine at what is now known as U of T's Tamarchi Faculty of Medicine. I chose to return to Scarborough Health Network for a family medicine rotation in medical school, for my residency, and then a fellowship. My dedicated and compassionate teachers and clinicians from Scarborough Health Network, who serve such a diverse and vibrant community, that is Scarborough, drew me to return back to Scarborough Health Network as a staff physician. So you might say, it's hard for me to separate my life story from Scarborough. It's this background and strong connection to the community that makes me so excited to be serving as the inaugural director of the Scarborough Academy of Medicine, or SAM, as we call it. With the new Myron and Berna Garron Health Sciences Complex as our home, I know this academy will play an essential role in bringing this ambitious vision and impact to life. We will increase the number of health professionals serving this community and ultimately strengthen the health and well-being of my fellow Scarborough residents for generations to come. It will ensure my own Made in Scarborough story becomes one of just many for the benefit of future healthcare professionals and future Scarborough-based patients alike. On their behalf, and the behalf of Temerity Faculty of Medicine, Scarborough Health Network, and our entire Scarborough community, please know how much we appreciate this investment. And now I'd like to invite Melanie Cohn, President and CEO of Michael Garron Hospital, to the podium to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chan. Good morning, everyone. It's my distinct pleasure to be here as we mark the incredible generosity of Myron and Berna Garron and their family. Today, we celebrate a gift that demonstrates their vision through a remarkable investment not only at the University of Toronto and Michael Garron Hospital, but truly for our healthcare system. Through this gift, the Garron family will help us forge the future of healthcare together as we strive each day to provide the best patient care enabled by the development and training of some of the brightest minds. The Garron's investment in University of Toronto, and specifically the Scarborough Academy of Medicine and Integrated Health, will catapult our ability to deliver on the promise of a health system that is focused on patients and healthier communities. The Scarborough Academy will house innovative models of education and train many health disciplines in one facility. This approach will ensure that as hospitals who take on academy trainees, that we build a future healthcare leader who sees the opportunity in integrating his teams and who will have a focus on the continuum of care so that we can be best attuned to what our patients need. At Michael Garron Hospital, we are profoundly grateful for this new gift from the Garron family, as we are now able to establish our first chair in education in partnership with the University of Toronto. Yes. This is really incredible. This will enable us to continue to strengthen our academic mandate, which is focused on both research and education, and ensure that we continue to lead as one of the top performing hospitals in Toronto and provincially who educate medical and healthcare trainees. We will now be able to continue to train students while also generating new knowledge and building capacity on the best and most effective ways to educate healthcare professionals of the future. Our model of education is collaborative, where we ensure that we develop healthcare professionals to work as a team and to value each discipline for what they bring to patient care. And this, in turn, enables us to provide the best care to our patients. Michael Garron Hospital is a strong and proud University of Toronto affiliated hospital where our academic activities support the best patient care demonstrated through our commitment to the health of East Toronto and beyond. The Garrons have been pivotal to our hospital as we deliver great care to our community. And today's investment demonstrates and strengthens our leadership in both high-quality care delivery and academic excellence. Because of the generosity of the Garrons and through our partnership with the University of Toronto, the path ahead is bright and full of promise. Thank you.
Well, first of all, good morning, everyone. And my name is Wes Hall. I'm the 35th Chancellor of the University of Toronto. And you have no idea how incredible it is for me to say that. It's actually an emotional day for me today. I came to Canada September 1985, 39 years ago. And I moved to Malvern, just down the street. That's where I lived when I came here. I was 16 years old, and when I went to school, Lester B. Pearson down the street, my accent was so strong that I was put in the ESL program. My dad had one thing that he asked me when I came here, because at the time, there was a lot of young black kids in Malvern that were getting into a lot of trouble. And he searched his soul really hard as to whether or not he's going to bring this child from Jamaica to Malvern if the same thing is going to happen to him that's happened to the other kids. And he sat me down and he said, Wes, I want one thing of you one thing: do not go to jail. That was his request. That was his request. So to be standing here today is a privilege and an honor. And I wouldn't be standing here today without the generosity of folks like Myron and Berna that gives back to healthcare, education, to help kids that grew up in this community to know that there's a different way. There's a better way. And so that's why I'm so emotional to really be here today. And this is also my first official, visit here as a chancellor. I'm going to be here a lot because my sister actually went to university here at UTSC. And these buildings didn't exist. It was almost farmland back then. And look at the beauty that we're seeing today. So I'm really glad to be here, and I'm really glad to be supportive of this amazing philanthropy by Myron and Berna. As others have noted, Myron and Berna Garron have already had a transformative impact in the advancement of healthcare in the region and beyond. Scarborough is viewed as a neglected city in Canada. Most people forget us. But because of this generosity, we're going to create leaders right here in Scarborough, providing transformative work right here in Scarborough. No longer do we have to go to the bright lights of downtown Toronto to get opportunities. We can get those opportunities right here. So Sam, as well, thank you so much for your generosity and so many people that are now looking at Scarborough as a beacon of light and hope. Now, this building is going to be a legacy through their visionary investment in healthcare. And we're going to be able to do, again, amazing things. Could you imagine that? 39 years ago, I could never have imagined what I'm seeing today here in Scarborough. Could you imagine what it's going to be like 39 years from now, from today, because of the leaders that we're creating now? So what is this facility? As you mentioned, was mentioned before, it's called SAM. Scarborough Academy of Medicine and Integrated Health is literally a vital source for this region. Is to prepare the next generation of healthcare professionals from and for the Eastern Toronto region. It will help to meet the urgent need of Scarborough, and it will improve the healthcare and well-being of the people who live here for generations to come. It will deepen U of T Scarborough's already extensive engagement in its surrounding communities, and it will build on the role as a key driver of progress in the region. It will also be a perfect expression of our commitment to inclusive excellence across the entire university. For these reasons, the building now under construction is a powerful hope for everyone that witnessed it. And we're hugely proud and, again, very grateful to Myron and Berna Garron for their generosity. And that's why we'd call it, it's going to be named Myron and Berna Garron Health Sciences Complex. Myron and Berna, again, thank you for your generosity, and thank you for helping to create folks like myself. To everyone who's played a role in this, a very exciting project, I want to say thank you as well. It takes a community to do big things like these, and thank you for getting together as a community to do this. This concludes the formal part, and by the way, as Chancellor, I get the last word, which I've never had before, not even at home. But I'm going to say thank you for coming. There's going to be refreshment downstairs. Please mingle, take some pictures, enjoy the building, and thanks again for supporting Scarborough and the U of T.